guys' response from the debacle on Thursday was outstanding. I thought we played with great energy. I thought we had purpose in what we were doing offensively and defensively. Pleased from top to bottom. Melo was the only guy that didn't play, but his attitude has been just as superb as the rest of them. I think that we had 56 paint touches unofficially, and I think that for within how we play, similar to what I said on Thursday, I've had multiple emails, and so whichever camera is Marquette's, let me say this. I respond to all of the hate mail that I get. There was nothing that I said in how our team is constructed, how our team is built, or the complexion of our team that should be taken in any way other than how we recruited and built our team. That was all. So having said that, how our team is constructed and how our team is built, you could better see that today than you could on Thursday. That's a derivative of paint touches. That's a derivative of paint touches are typically going to lead to assists, typically going to lead to free throw makes. We should have made more free throws down the stretch when they had to foul, but to have 37 opportunities in a Big East game, that says a lot about the pressure you're applying to their defense. I thought Jay, Devontae, and Jamil were superb in their ball screen coverages against really big guys, and I thought that when they threw it to the post, how we trapped the post and how we rotated out of those traps was outstanding. But the thing that I'm most pleased with is our response to what happened on Thursday.
Starting Jamil, what were you looking for?
I think it's a variety of things. Nothing that's necessarily negative. I think sometimes you want to have some sort of juice coming off the bench, not necessarily insurance coming off the bench. I think when Devontae's able to get a pulse, he's probably a little bit better. That doesn't mean that he's always going to come off the bench, because you could definitely argue that when they're playing their two bigs and we're playing two smalls, that's not necessarily smart. But and I also think that Jamil's aggressiveness and ball screen coverage and his length really helps us out of rotation. And considering that Jay played 9 minutes in the first half, and for Jamil and Devontae to have done what they did on both ends of the floor, I think those three guys were as potent as they have been since Chris's injury.
Buzz, what did you focus on in practice since the Vanderbilt game?
Playing hard. I think that we have, but that's an expectation now. Sometimes maybe that expectation trends towards winning, and I understand that, but you're not going to win if you're not the hardest playing team, and that's what we have been built to be, and we were not that on Thursday, and that's why we had the worst home loss we've had since we've been here. And I think that what we concentrated on most was we have to get back to what got us to 11-1 entering that game against Vanderbilt. And when you are playing hard, you're going to play aggressive on both ends of the floor. It is going to lead to deflections. It is going to lead to paint touches, all of the things that I've already said.
The mechanical, though, no breakdowns on execution stuff you saw?
No purpose, no pace, probably means no aggressiveness and no energy. And that's what it was. You don't go as potent as we are offensively. When you look at our non-conference body of work, including the Vanderbilt game, offensively there's some really impressive numbers. And there has been an adjustment period that I may have tried to do too many things to try to overcome Chris's loss. But having said that, if you don't play hard and you don't play tough, then you can run whatever you want to run. It's not going to work.
Does that lead to drawing offensive fouls, getting shot clock violations, that type of thing also? I mean, you guys defensive, you drew a few offensive fouls today.
Yeah, I think we had 0 charges, Tom, in the first half, and I think we had 3 in the second half, and then there was I think the officials gathered on what would have been the fourth one. But they spread you out, and so particularly towards the close of the game, they spread spread you out so wide that you really have to be committed to your help, and you really got to fly like crazy guys out of rotation once it gets to the paint. And I thought our guys did that.
Hey, Coach, with Big East play coming up, do you have a problem with, like tonight, with Jay Crowder getting foul trouble? Do you got to use Devontae more? Or is he in physical Big East shape yet? Because you got to go up against Louisville, Pitt, those good grinding teams that's going to hammer you in the post with, with the big guys that got down low. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, I think that's what everybody thinks. And so if you look at their big guys, their two biggest guys, 13 had 14 and 6, and 21 had 8 and 12. So combined, they had 22 and 18. And so you look at our big guys, what we call big guys. Devontae had 13 and 10, Jay had 9 and 5, and Jamil had 11 and 3. So if we're going to include our 4, we could probably include their 4. 22 Pinkston, he had 13 and 4. You're right. Our team is not as settled when we don't have the ability to play those 3 guys however we deem fit. And so when you are a man down and foul trouble does become a part of the scenario, you do have to adjust. And I thought that Devontae and Jamil, over the last 11 minutes of the first half, I thought they adjusted really well. I thought they handled it fine. We're playing Devontae with 2 fouls, which I don't always like to do. But we don't need to foul. But I don't think that when fouling is not an issue, I like those 3 because I think to an extent all 3 of those guys are different, both offensively and defensively.
And you can entertain them.
Yeah, and so you think about 13 and 21 on their team, they are huge and we are undersized, but their games are similar. Whereas I think Jamil's game is a little different than Jay's, and I think Jay's game is different than Devontae's. And so depending upon how we're playing ball screens, depending upon what we're trying to do offensively, I think the versatility of our crew, albeit small, I still like. But foul trouble changes everything, and we struggled with that on Thursday. We struggled with fouls on Thursday because we weren't playing our man before the catch because we weren't playing hard enough.
Talk about the game DJO had. He struggled the last couple games, and especially that first half, what you saw.
Yeah, I told him, I told our guys after the game I was extremely pleased with how they responded, with Darius being at the top of the list. And I know it sounds cliche. I think he played really well offensively because he played extremely hard. He played for other guys on our team. The ball never stuck in his hands, and I thought he was as good as he's been in a long, long time defensively.
What's the week ahead look like to you?
I think it's a long week. You've heard coaches say, and I believe you have to have short-term memories. There's going to be a lot of times that we come in here or we're on the road and you guys are hammering me because we don't have any big guys or whatever. We didn't make free throws. You have to have a short memory, and that's why I was pleased with our guys that they responded the way that they did today. Georgetown is a unique scout. They're a very, very good team, and so we'll have a lot of work in regards to absorbing their scouting report. And then, in a lot of ways, Syracuse is just as unique because I don't know that we'll play any team, maybe Seton Hall, a little bit Louisville, but I don't know that Seton Hall or Louisville will play 40 minutes of straight zone. They may trick it up and try to confuse you a little bit. Syracuse is not going to try to confuse you, and the thing that's so hard against Syracuse is they're so good in transition. You take a bad shot or a long shot, and they got their 2 guards heading the other direction, and so they put a lot of pressure on you. So this will be good for us. This will be good for us.
That's it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.